happy you came back to the West Elmira Library Thursday night at 7 o'clock for our cooking lesson. Today I have some new exciting things and I wanted to tell you something. I did not practice this at home. This is all off the cuff. So you can see what I really do in no preparation. I mean, there's a little prep because I had to bring things here to the library, but you're going to see how I just wing it in the kitchen. I have already brushed my hair and put it up, and I'm going to lint roll again because I did that, say, a couple minutes ago. And you can always have hair at any time. So I put that up because I made one sample for the girls here at work to try, and they said it was delicious. So we're in for a good time. All right, I have my trusty apron, and this is what we're gonna do. We are going to make wraps. We are going to do 3. We're going to do one that is completely vegetarian. We're going to do one that has meat, and then we are going to do a fruit wrap. I don't know about you guys at home, but it's just my husband and I, and they don't sell these tortillas in just a package of 2. The least I ever think I've seen is 6, but quite often it's 8, sometimes it's 10, 12. What in the world are you going to do with all those leftovers? Yes, you could do a frittata. Yes, you could try to make enchiladas and freeze them. But you know what? You could try to keep it in your fridge, which I've done, and that doesn't work very well. So I thought, hey, how about come up with a way to use up a fresh package of tortillas? So this is a package of tortillas of 8, just plain flour tortillas. So we're going to do the vegetarian one first. This has all been sanitized, my hands washed and everything, but I am going to use a piece of aluminum foil because I might make a little bit of mess and I just don't want to put my tortilla right on this counter. So here it is. And if you put this, I know they appear round. However, they're not completely round. So try to make the oblong part, the little bit longer part, towards the top of your tortilla. So that's, I mean, it does kind of look round, but really there is a little spot there. So first, we're going to do the vegetarian. We are going to take hummus, whatever kind of hummus you prefer. There's different flavors. There's plain. I have here today called everything hummus, which you might know about, or you might have had an everything bagel. That's the same idea. Has onions, salt and pepper, a little olive. So no meat product in here. I'm gonna take some hummus and plop it right there in the middle. And I prefer to spread with a spoon. I have found a knife tends to rip things. A knife is long, so you have to kind of spread all around. A spoon, it's nice and soft. You can spread just in little areas to exactly where you want. Works very well for me, and you can take it away today as a trusty trick. So we are going to be folding the bottom, so you don't need or want a lot of the hummus towards the bottom, and you don't need a lot towards the sides. And we're not trying to eat just hummus. Actually, this is more like a paste to hold the other things in. So I'm gonna hold it up. The bottom that you're seeing is my top. So now, as I said, vegetarian for this. I have some fresh baby spinach, which I purchased in a plastic container, one of the little ones you can easily rinse your veggies or fruits with, which I did. And I took the stems off, and I'm just going to place on the top. I am going to make it, I want it to present well. So these on the top you're going to see when I show you the end when we're all done. So I am going to put them up here at the top. So after it is wrapped, as we call them, hopefully this little greenery will stick out. And then I'm just going to put a few more in here for color, healthy texture. Then I'm going to take a few sliced olives. You can do fancy olives if you'd like. I try to do something that like everybody's gonna like, and then if I want, I can serve fancy olives on the side. So this is just a can of sliced olives, drained. And once again, I'm gonna try to put a little of them on the top so we can see them. Most likely they're going to topple out when I wrap it and show it to you. But then I'm going to stick them back in. Some roasted red pepper. Once again, I'm going to put a little piece at the top. I hope you can see from home. Little bit down here. Once again, I have green, I have black, and I have red. 3 different colors. Get to wipe my dirty fingers on my apron. And I like cheese. I think cheese is a great thing to add to almost everything, and we're going to add it to all 3 wraps today. This is feta cheese. It comes crumbled, but you know what? I have always found that I need to crumble it more. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm just going to sprinkle. And if I were home or had access to an oven or even a toaster oven, but it's kind of tricky in a toaster oven, I would put this in either, probably not broil because I'd be afraid it would burn, say 375 after it had already been heated, and I would toss that in there for like probably definitely less than 2 minutes. I would like look at it after a minute. So my cheese would kind of melt a little bit, which will help with the wrapping, but I also have the hummus, so that's going to help hold everything together, and you can always wrap it and then put it on a baking pan or in a dish or in a casserole and then put it in the oven. For today, I'm just going to wrap it. I'm going to go to my trusty paper towels and wipe my hands. I could do that on my apron, but this cheese is a little creamy and a little sticky. Okay, now, these are called wraps. So, I thought I'd do a little wrap for you. Are you ready? I have to turn a little bit because I don't want... What did you think of that? Gotta laugh when you're wrapping. So here we go. I'm gonna take the bottom, and you don't want just a tiny bit. You almost want to fold it halfway. And then you kind of want everything to go a little bit this way. And then you just fold it. I'm gonna wrap this, kind of tuck it in. Tuck it in. You're tucking that outer part in. I don't know if you can see. I told you those olives were gonna fall out. There they are. And like I said, I'm gonna put them back in. And there you have it. You can see a little green, a little red, a little bit of feta, and the black olives. And there is your vegetarian wrap. And I am going to use this platter. And you would probably want to make 1, 2, 3, 8, however many you'd like. And you can always serve. I don't want to mix my vegetarian with my meat and my dessert. But if I were doing like a dinner I would do all the vegetarian, then all the meat on a platter like this. So I'm going to set this aside. And I don't want to mix flavors or meat products. So I'm going to get a new piece of aluminum foil. And I think I could find a use for this. It's still in very good shape. I just won't mix it with anything I'm cooking. And fresh. All right, so now we will do one with meat. And this is a way you can use one of your tortillas. And this, once again, the same, try to do the top. Oops, look at that. From being in the packaging, that little top is wrinkled. I am gonna flip that to the bottom since we're gonna fold that in. All right, this is just, you can make anything you want with wraps. You can put anything in, you can do leftover, whatever you want. But I was thinking, you know, sometimes when it's chilly and you just want something quick, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just desire toasted cheese and tomato soup. Well, if I'm entertaining, I kind of want it to be a little different than just toasted cheese on a piece of bread. So I thought, oh my goodness, I can make a ham and toasted cheese wrap. So that is what we're going to do. I have tomatoes, and I just purchased some smoked Gouda, and I purchased sliced because I did not want to have to shred. So I'm going to pull this out, and if you prefer a lot, you can do a lot. And this is kind of thick, so now that I'm doing this, I believe next time I would try to look for thinner, but look at this. I can rip it. And I want a piece towards the top. And if we're gonna melt it, we don't want, because of the cheese, we don't want it all the way to the end because then it's just gonna melt over. These little pieces that fell, rip a little more because it's quite thick. I'm not going to just spread. If it was like super thin Swiss, I would probably just lay a piece in here. This stuff, I don't know if you can see at home. Let me try. This stuff is like really thick. So, just one piece ripped up. I have some smokehouse ham, right from the deli. I'm gonna put a slice of ham in there. And I have some fresh sliced tomatoes, which I already salted. I'll lay those in there. And that spinach, I'm telling you, you cannot just buy a thing of spinach for 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals. That stuff lasts forever. The quantity goes forever. The quality, you better be careful with. But I have some left. I'm going to put some in my wrap. And before I do that, I'm going to put a little fresh ground pepper. Now, I didn't need that in the other one because the hummus already had like probably 6 different flavors in it. But this is just the ham and the cheese, so I already pre-salted the tomato. There's a little pepper. I'm going to put a tiny bit of onion powder, which if you like onions, you can put onion in it. This actually works well because it doesn't take up any room. Little garlic powder. Perfecto. And I'm going to take this nice piece, which these are still cleaned, and I took the stems off. I'm going to put that up there, so hopefully we can see it. And this is what you call a little gourmet toasted cheese. And one thing that people do in the food business is they like adjectives. So if you were using this, you could say, It is served with smokehouse ham, smoked Gouda, freshly sliced tomatoes off the vine, with a little fresh ground pepper, a dash of garlic, a dash of onion. You can really get carried away. To me, it's just gonna be a really good toasted wrap. So here we go. We have the juice from the tomato. The cheese is going to melt. Once again, you're going to kind of fold in the side. Fold, fold, and wrapped. Wow, that actually looks quite appealing to the eye. I wonder how that tastes. Just kidding. And now I am going, since I don't personally need to separate them, I am going to put that on my platter. And last but not least, of course, I am going to save this. And I had some pepper pop out. Oh, check that out. Pepper pop out. I have my trusty towel and I'm just going to wipe my counter. I hope everyone is enjoying this. I'm telling you, it smells good. I am not a big dessert person, but a lot of people are really into dessert. And if they have a function, they believe they need dessert. And I grew up, my mom always had dessert for my dad. Me, I can go without dessert. I like salt, I like meat, I like cheese. I could definitely go without dessert. But I have extra wraps left, so why not make dessert? So I'm gonna get my trusty aluminum foil, give myself a clean base, grab one of my tortillas. Once again, this little thing is a little bent from the packaging, so I'm gonna put that on the bottom. And actually, I'm going to put it on the side because remember that idea about the oval? We kind of want the top. All right, so dessert. I'm going to move these over here. Grab a spoon. Move this cheese and ham aside. So I have strawberries, which I sliced. I like to rinse them in the container. Just put them under the faucet with water and then the container strain that you get from the store. And then to make it easy, I just take the whole top off like that. And then I like to slice them lengthwise. However, depending on what you prefer, you can take the lid off and just keep slicing. So they'll look like that. Now, you're going to want to pat them dry. You're not going to want them wet. So those are my strawberries. And then I have blueberries, which I had in a plastic. Did the water, drained them. And I have a little, I thought I had a little mise en place, but I guess I'm working from this bowl. And I have some mandarin oranges. The reason I have these is for color. So I have a little blue, a little red, and a little orange. How lovely. Now, I'm going to want something on this to help make everything mix, blend together, hold together. Wraps are tricky. You need something to hold. This is, I'm going to take a big old glop. It is cream cheese. Whipped already cream cheese, so you don't have to buy the little silver cream cheese and warm it. It's already whipped. And this happens to have a honey pecan flavor. You can do plain, you can do strawberry, you can do berry. I already have strawberries in this, and I already have berries in this. So I decided, let's not do too much flavoring. We want to taste the fruit. So I'm going to spread this around. I'm going to put a little more in because fruit can be rolly, and I need this to stick. There we go. Oh, perfect. Now, my strawberries. Once again, I want some cute little ones sticking out. And then I'll just put a few in here. And some blueberries in between, and I'm gonna want a blueberry on top. Some mandarin oranges, one on top. And, oh, dirty hands, apron, love it. I have some raspberry. So when we present it, if we wanted to use adjectives, we can say fresh strawberries, blueberries right off the bush, mandarin orange right out of the can. Just kidding, don't use that line. And then fresh raspberry jam. This is gonna help hold together, and I'm also going to use this as a little decorating of the top, because quite often with pastries, there is a lot of decoration involved. So that's that. Set these aside on one of my trusty plates and fold at the bottom. Not all the way halfway, but pretty close. And if you can see, it's kind of sticking together. And then I'm gonna wrap, because that's what these are called. Once again, I'm gonna fold this in and wrap and wrap. And look at that. Have a little blueberry, a little strawberry, a little mandarin orange, and probably can't see at home, but you can see some jam. And if I were going to try to present this, I'm gonna just borrow one of my little plates here, move this to the side. I would want to put it down, and actually if I were trying to make this look fancy, I would cut it at a diagonal like this, show the middle like that, and this is where, oh my, where did I put, I'll just, oh, there it is. There's my trusty plate, my spoon. I would just take a little, actually if I had a little plate and I was trying to be real fancy, I would do little drops around like that. It just makes it look pretty. This paper plate, not so pretty, but you know what? If you were at a picnic, this would be pretty styling. And then I'm gonna just spread a little on the top like they do in those pastry shops. And a little on this side. And voila! There's our dessert. So that was 3 wraps. We used only 3 out of the package of 8, but you could have done 2 of each, and that would have been 6. And then you could have just used the other 2 for the ones you liked best. So I am very thankful that you joined me. That for me was fun. This is fun. I have never done that before. I'll have to see, maybe I can hear from you guys if anybody tried it, what you thought of it. So once again, I am super happy you came to the library. We have tons of books. We have cookbooks. Actually, guess what? I forgot to pull a cookbook. Watch this. I go to the stacks. This is so cool. And I come back with an incredible cookbook. This is on baking, and we did not bake our tortilla, but if we did, this could be considered baking. A really easy way to bake. All right, I will see you guys next week here at the West Elmira Library at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. Thank you so much for coming. It's been great.